Okay. Mommy, you seem to have a lot of products to the glory of God. Okay, please could you walk us through these amazing products that are right before me here?
Oh, thank you. I told you we are nutritionists and we are interested in getting the best of the food for everybody. Here at our Visa Multiventures Limited, we have products from the mushroom.
Okay. Which is already dried, so she has added value to it by preserving it.
This is plantain flour, 100% premium plantain.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. These are a lot of products, and the ones that are really food based smell really nice, and the tea is not. It smells really calm and soothing. So you should try them. Okay, so. Mommy Grace, I wanted to find out something because it seems like a lot of farmers are faced with this issue. They have mushrooms, they have products in mind that they want to go into value addition with, but they are faced with the issue of how do we get this equipment, how do we set up for this value added product they want to start. How were you able to navigate through that? Because it seems like value addition is expensive, or could it not be?
Very, very expensive. Thank you. You see, if we are talking about developing as a nation and creating jobs, government institutions that have been set up as NGOs, research institutions, should please consider using part of their budget to actually look into this with the people. You can arrange people into clusters. It's expensive, I tell you. It's because maybe some people say, oh, you just have the flair for this. But I believe if for the documentation, for the future, someday some people will come to realize that, oh, these people are there and we can help them to bring other people up. And I think what government should be able to do, number one, create clusters and let us have all the institutions with this mandate. They will tell you they are on the internet, they are this and that, but how many people have the capacity to go and look at the internet and see what? I remember before we started producing when we started producing and we had marketing challenges. It was on the internet I discovered Raw Material Research Development Council, and I saw their backward integration policy and strategy to create jobs for Nigeria. So I just took a plane and went to Abuja and met with the then very, very erudite Professor Onwalu, a very, very nice man. Engineer, he is an engineer, and he listened, and when he saw it, he was interested. Look at their logo on this. He asked me to please put their logo because there and there he commissioned. This was way back to year 2009, and by year 2010 he had commissioned 44 studies, and we were able to produce a book of Moringa that talks about all the research findings of those 44 studies. And then he went on to assist us to set up the Moringa Development Association of Nigeria. These are the things each of the ministries with specific mandates for each of the plans. NIHOS should be able to do that. Beyond the research they turn out, there has to be a level of engagement of the communities to now turn this into products that is going to be affordable and easily used by many people. The frustration we went through, we cannot explain it in terms of how you, by the time you have finished with it, NAFDAC will come. At a stage, I had to confront NAFDAC. I said, for God's sake, RMRDC, NAFDAC are both parastatals of the federal government of Nigeria. One is in Ministry of Health, the other is in the Ministry of Science and Technology. Are you not working in synergy? If RMDC produce all this documentation, what again is NAFDAC asking us to follow? So these are the bottlenecks our technocrats have created for people, and it is too much milestones to cover for rural people. So government should actually address the need of all. in terms of, okay, if you create mushroom clusters now and you ask people, how do you mop it up from them? Markets in developed economy, they don't allow their farmers to just grow and you leave them as cans. No, they don't do that. Government provide all sorts of palliatives. It shouldn't be petrol subsidy alone. It shouldn't be palliatives in terms of this. We give people cash in. And no, let us spend our palliative funding and subsidy support into sectors that is going to help the communities. Our people are getting ill because they are eating food that have not been rightly processed. Each ward should have a processing center. That's not out of the way for federal government to do. Sweden, all the agencies they have created, everybody is just working across purposes. They are not working in synergy to uptake and ensure it comes back to the people to benefit. These are the challenges we have in Nigeria, and I think they are not insurmountable. It's a function of all these various organizations, everybody claiming big in their constituency, to please come together and let us say, okay, all the food that are tuber related this way, the ones that are flower related, now that we have institutions that are established, NIHO, this, that, we hear all of them, but let them go to the next level of getting the rural people helped. Not just that you train them and you let them off the hook. No. The value addition is important because all the things we are importing, now we don't have the dollar. We keep importing almost everything we can produce locally. Does it make sense? It's either that we also do the non-oil export to also contribute to the global market. Since we are all part of the globalization agenda, we can't just fold our hands and leave our children hungry while we are feeding other people's economy. That is my own humble suggestion because it's expensive. By the time standard organization will come with all its processing, NAFDA will come with its processing, another agency will come with its processing. For God's sake, what does a rural woman have to take to be able to key into that?
Okay, let me ask you about this NAFDA process. For a regular farmer, how do you think a regular farmer that is just into
they won't get NAFDA won't touch you until you talk about value addition. If you produce in your farm and put your farm in your product in the market, even if it is rotting away, nobody looks at what is happening to it. Nobody is checking the quality of food that the people are consuming. Nobody. Not yet in this country. Until you say value added, but by the time we go the extra mile to now say, this is a guinea corn that we produce into nice powder. This one now has been in the house for 2 years. And if you open it now and you add hot water, it comes by is a great winning diet for growing children. You can imagine this with added mushroom powder for a growing child. What are you talking about? And if you want to season it or color it with moringa powder, where are we? We are already set to give our people nutrient-dense food. And we are growing the next generation of Nigerians who have it here. The first 1,000 years, 1,000 days of life. Once anybody misses it, any child misses it, any child is confronted with malnutrition, you know you are producing dollars. Where are the professors of tomorrow? I think the challenge here is that we are not thinking through our lives. We are not thinking through our lives. Everybody just get comfortable by that. I don't have business with that. Once my children are okay, once I'm okay, it's good. But that should not be. Anybody in governance is the father and mother of all. And let government begin to bring motherhood into governance, whereby all these things we add value together for the good of our people. NAFDA, they will ask you to register, and by the time the processes you go through to get your products registered or listed, oh my goodness, it's too cumbersome. is too cumbersome, and that's why a lot of people are producing. They are not even reaching them, and they are selling in their corners. And it is government that needs to sit down in their own boardrooms, research outfits, all the parastatals, if they want to make their money. I think there are other ways they should begin to look at it, not to make life too difficult for people who are coming. And you know, the informal sector is taking a lot to drive this economy. So when you drive all these people away from the center of the, what do? Research institutes, government is supposed to spend money on research. America spends a lot of money on research, several billions of dollars every year to look at every sector. But here, the research institutes are starved. Even when you go there, they don't have electricity to run. They don't have this to. We are in a, I don't know. I just pray God helps us as a country.
Okay.